Hello, everyone. How's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's play some more Disco Elysium, shall we? All right. We're picking up where we left off, and, we've got a phasmid. I don't know what I need to do to it, but I'll tell you what. Number one, I'm going to take off my flashlight. It doesn't seem appropriate for this situation. I don't know what stats I'm going to need. Perception, maybe? But we do have a bunch of rolls, and I have the game saved.
The creature stands on long stilt-like legs, antennae hanging from his head like a woman's hair, white and curled at the tips. It is no more than 5 steps away from you. Reed-like tufts stick out of its joints. As the insect moves its forearms, it produces a faint hiss, like a reel-to-reel machine spinning after the tape breaks. The hiss is different from the strings you heard before. It says something else in a lower pitch.
So I have electrochemistry, which is good. I have a very high chance of hitting a 10 with +4. Let me listen carefully. Interesting. This is the Celindian phasmid.
It is.
The lieutenant whispers behind you. You hear the familiar ring of his jacket unzipping, slowly, painstakingly so.
You glance over your shoulder. The lieutenant holds a piece of milled aluminium. He begins to pull it open, extremely carefully. It's the camera.
Are you sure you won't scare it off?
We need a photo. No one will believe us.
Uh-oh. He continues to pull the lens open.
From the corner of your eye, you see a sudden cascade of motion ripple through the phasmid's limbs. A series of ultrasonic clicks fills your ear.
Stop, let me approach it first.
I won't be one of those fools who didn't take a picture.
He has stopped fiddling with the camera, but does not put it down.
You see the phasmid turn to him, its mandible antennae reaching out. Its motions are quick, sudden.
I have the pheromone. I can approach it.
I don't think the pheromone will do anything.
His whisper turns to a skeptical hiss, but he has stopped now.
The spindly mechanism turns itself back to you, its antennae taking their measure of the air, slowly.
I have 92%. I'm going to check it. Got it.
Slowly, with your breath held, you take 2 small steps toward the phasmid. The creature lets out a series of ultrasonic clicks that swarm around your head like swallows. Like laughter, a sort of happiness. The tracheal system on the creature's abdomen expands in front of you to take in and expel air. It's smelling you.
I hope it smells good.
Hissing and clicking, it extends its mandible-like antennae to greet you. You're right below it now, looking up at the colossal chitin of its white limbs. The head of the creature is crowned by reeds, and its eyes are like small droplets of water.
It's smelling me.
Maybe it is real, the pheromone.
The lieutenant's mouth is agape.
About now, he is ready to believe in anything.
True.
The insect's head is crowned with reed-like scales, the shape of seed heads. They rustle as the air moves. The ventricles at its abdomen continue expanding, like lunglets. Breathing you in, your sour, greasy semiochemicals on the breeze.
Raise your hand slowly.
The insect stops its stridulation, seeming to observe you. Below its crown of reeds, little pinprick eyes detect motion, glittering. The world stands still around you. Suddenly, there is silence.
Put it down.
The invertebrate comes back to life, stridulating. Sets of complex eyes follow you, moving in tandem on either side of the insect's small head.
Hello, I'm Harry. I don't really know who I am.
No reply. A total ancient silence comes from its mouth, along with what appears to be some kind of foam. The stridulations of its limbs continue all around you.
Yeah, I'm gonna back off.
The invertebrate stops, raising its scythe-like arms and tilting its tiny head, formed from the fused plates around its mouth. For a second, the effigy is frozen. Then it nudges back into motion with a click.
I'll try this one.
I exist.
Whoa, it's talking to me. I exist too.
Tell me what it's like for you.
It's Wonderbar.
Yes, holy is the Lord of hosts, and all the earth is filled with his glory. Now, I will tell you what it's like for me. For me, it is a series of half-lit images, a kind of darkness, being intruded upon, transient, dim, moist,
Intruded upon by what?
shapes of plants and animals, and internal sensations, a swarm of sounds, tiny vibrations on the inside of my forearms, all speak of complexities totally beyond my understanding. I am at the end of a narrow funnel, weightless, so light, it only feels like something to be me. In truth, perhaps I'm nothing. I certainly do not have a soul, and if I did, it would never ache.
You're the type of animal I would like to be, or I'm glad to be me, an incredibly sensitive instrument. What's happening to me? I'm glad to be Harry.
Few of us can begin to imagine the horror of you, with all of creation reflected in your forebrain. It must be like the highest of hells, a kaleidoscope of fire and writhing glass. Eternal damnation.
Well, it's not eternal. There's a terminus.
Even when you're sleeping, and when you wake, you carry it around on your neck, with eyes open that cannot help but swallow more behind the mirror. I feel great, mute empathy for you.
I changed my mind. I want to be you. Don't we? Do I want to be the insanity of phasmid? No pain. Internal sensations. Intrusions. It was very disorienting at first, but I'm keeping it together.
That must be incredibly hard. The Arthropods are in silent and meaningless awe of you. Know that we're watching. When you're tired, when the vision spins out of control, the insects will be looking on, rooting for you.
That's great. I love how the implication here is that, like, the bugs just look at humans with their existence and, the world that they create in their head, and they just feel bad for us. They're like, oh, these crazy things. That's awful. They're in hell.
And when you fall, we will come to raise you up. Bud from you, banner-like, blossom from you and carry you apart in a sky funeral, in honor of your passing. But not me, because I'm just a leaf eater.
In honor of your will, Lieutenant Euphrator, that you kept from falling apart in the face of sheer terror, day after day, second by second.
I am a detective.
So am I. I was born to detect sucrose rewards and semiochemicals. What were you born to detect?
I mean, also that.
I I can also detect pheromones. The ones on you tell me that you are not with me, and that I will benefit from your closeness. In short, I love you.
This is like the best experience of Harry's life. Is this a dream? What's happening?
No, you are awake. I am real. Light is forming me. This is real.
Where does this come from? All this around us, the world.
Not even the birds know that. Not even the water lily.
We need to know. Perhaps it's sent to us by a god?
I think we should eat it. If it's a leaf, you can put it in your mouth. Or read. Yum yum.
Indeed. What exactly are you?
I am an unknown species of the order Phantasmadia, endemic to the Insulandian Insula. For the last 350 years, I have hidden in plain sight, masquerading as the reeds, molding, cloning myself, unfolding at night to play with trash cans and boys. I went unnoticed by the first settlers and the land surveyors of the suzerain. Also, by the soldiers of the revolution and the officials of the occupation. Even the Semenese islanders who came here first, but did not stay, have not seen me. I have stayed hidden through 4 forms of government and 2 scientific revolutions, until I was accidentally discovered by a detective of the citizen militia in Rebelshaw, district of Martinez, March 51.
I love how much the phasmid knows about our culture and the history and even who I am. Are you the miracle?
No. You are the miracle.
How?
The moral of our encounter is, I am a relatively medium life form, while you are extreme, all-engulfing madness. A volatile simian nervous system, ominously new to the planet. The Pale too came with you. No one remembers it before you. The Nidarians do not. The radially symmetrics do not. There is an almost unanimous agreement between the birds and the plants that you are going to destroy us all.
Wait, what is the pale?
It is a nervous shadow cast into the world by you, eating away at reality. A great, unnatural territory. Its advent coincides with the arrival of the human mind.
Oh boy. I don't have that kind of power.
You're a violent and irrepressible miracle. The vacuum of cosmos and the stars burning in it are afraid of you. Give me enough time, you will wipe us all out and replace us with nothing. Just by accident.
That might happen. How?
We suspect it will be something like the oxygen holocaust that wiped out anaerobic life 2.6 billion years ago, when organisms first started breathing. Only much worse.
Instead of air, you exhale thoughts. There are no trees that eat thoughts.
Worse, how?
Everything your eyes touch goes back there, behind the nose mirror. What if you blink? Are we still here? Please don't blink. What if you misplace us all one day, or just forget?
Have I always been this way?
No, you're only thinking it now. This is a revelation.
I've already forgotten the whole world once when I drank too much.
So it is already happening. Soon, one of you will close your eyes and open them to see that none of this ever existed.
Kim, am I having a violent epileptic seizure?
It doesn't look like that, no.
What does it look like?
You're just staring at it.
Then I think I'm having a vision about the final fate of mankind.
Okay. Is it somehow related to the case?
Not really. No, I told you what it's about. Our fate.
I think we should take the picture, and then you should back away from the unstudied species.
I have to say goodbye now. I have no more thoughts. That was all.
No, there is one more.
Of all the creatures I've met, you are the kindest.
Thank you. I also have one more thing to say to you. That woman, turn from the ruin. Turn and go forward. Do it for the working class.
You have to let her go, Harry. I will.
She was middle class. It doesn't take a 3-meter stick insect to tell you that.
Okay, Kim, take the picture.
Okay.
With a slow ring of metal, the lieutenant slides open the lens open and raises it to eye level.
There is no change in the insect's motion while it's being aimed by the camera. It remains fixated on you.
In 3. If it moves, you jump back. I'll shoot. Here we go.
We don't shoot.
3, 2, 1.
The shrill flash of the camera cuts the air like the blade of a sword. The phasmid freezes in its bright light. Head turned toward the lieutenant, hypnotized by the flash. It stands frozen before you.
I got it.
You hear the lieutenant whisper as the creature's shape develops onto photo paper in his hand, a polychrome ghost of white streaks against the reeds and sky, and you as a shadow before it. Slowly reach out and touch the creature's whisker, or carefully pet its forearm. Let's try the forearm.
The limb before you is incredibly light, like eggshell. It's much lighter than a reed. You feel a soft push could tip the creature over. Its hollow exoskeleton collapsing.
I'll pull the hand away. I don't want to hurt it.
A sudden shiver passes the limb. Looks like the creature is awakening, wave by wave from its stupor. Some sort of countdown process is happening. That's all you have time to think.
Do I want to touch the whisker? No, I'm going to back away. I don't want to hurt this thing.
Another shudder pulses through the creature's limbs. It jolts back to life, like a record continuing where it left off, in a swaying, praying motion. Even the small black pearls of its eyes do not stray from you.
Disengage slowly.
As you're turning away, the phasmid mirrors your movements, stepping on the water, the long limbs carrying its feather weight without breaking its surface.
Unbelievable. There it goes.
And just like that, it's gone, skating away across the sea's calm mirror like a skipping stone, leaving nothing but circles on the water.
And they were trying to catch it in those little traps, you know. They had no idea.
And something under it, in the place it stood, bobbing there, among the reeds, a collection of items.
It's gone.
The lieutenant looks north with his hand raised to his brow. It can walk on water?
Apparently, yes. Like a water strider. Only, I've never seen anything like that in my life.
What's that in the reeds?
Looks like a nest of some sort. We should have a look.
What now?
What now?
The old man behind you repeats suddenly. He's put his hand into the ash. It's dirty and black.
In some kind of strange, semi-catatonic state.
Our suspect is not looking so good. We need to check on him.
Searchlight division.
Oh, good.
You've sharpened your senses by being on the lookout for missing persons. Now you notice more of what's happening around you. Perhaps, when you're done with this case, you can join the Searchlight Division of the RCM and find every Revacholian that's ever gone missing without a trace. There is undoubtedly a backlog of such cases, because you never know. A missing person could be just around the edge, barely out of sight.
Wow, we got +2 perception. That's cool. There's... Oh, look at that. It's the helmet. And a rifle scope. Wow. We almost have all the gear. Look at that. We got the helmet. We got the body armor. We got the gloves. We need the pants.
What is it? What do you want from me? I can't go.
Something is very wrong with him now.
Sir, how could you not see the phasmid?
See.
He stares at the reeds and falls silent.
Mr. Duras?
The man does not respond. He keeps staring, black eyes glazed over and bulging from their sockets, his gap-toothed mouth shaking.
Snap your fingers under his nose, wave your hand in front of his eyes, touch his shoulder gently. In front of his eyes.
A light shiver passes him, followed by nothing. His hands are trembling, and he breathes slowly.
He's going into some kind of psychomotor immobility. The good news is, this solves our transportation problem, doesn't it, Mr. Duras?
The trembling mouth appears to sigh.
Between this and the broken tire he's used for a boat, I think it's safe to leave him here, while we go and get help. It will need to be medical first, I'm afraid.
What happened to this man?
Old age and shock.
Is it the phasmid?
Yes, the arrest and the appearance of the phasmid, the combined stress. But you think it's something more than that, don't you?
He couldn't see it, Kim. It's just the reeds for
It could
him.
be part of the shock. But you're right, something is off here. Mr. Duras.
He touches the man's
No
shoulder.
response.
Maybe this is how the phasmid has stayed hidden all these
Then
years?
how did we see it? Oh, you mean, whatever does this, does it over time? Teenagers, kids, drunks, sightings are brief, and hence not credible. But anyone who spends a long time with it.
Yes, you forget it's there.
Mr. Duras, have you ever seen a stick insect pretending to be the reeds?
The old man stutters.
Doctors will have to look at this. I hope your station has better medical personnel than 57. This is a little advanced for a nurse.
He's been here for a long time. Who knows how much of it is... How much of it in its company.
He did seem distressed when it finally came to arresting him. Like he didn't want to leave this place. And the insect, maybe.
He looks at his
I
notebook.
have absolutely forgotten to take notes. I hope I remember all of this. This will be one hell of a report. Thank God we have the photo.
No one would believe you without it.
We found some things in the phasmid's nest, Mr.
He
Dross.
stares into the reeds. Your words don't stir anything in him. Perhaps you should.
Show him the helmet.
Nothing. Just dull staring. Not even rage left, wherever he is.
If Kuno kicked it into the sea, as he said he did, the ebb would put it back here. This makes sense. Mr. Dross could have picked it up. Or the phasmid even. If it did, this is incredible.
Show him the scope.
I lost.
You lost it?
He turns his eyes to the reeds again, as he's done so many times. Beige and white stripes.
He lost the scope. Then it somehow made its way over there. With the help of a magpie phasmid?
The lieutenant observes the lens sparkle in your hand.
This sight is a T9, Mr. Dross. Was it attached to the rifle when you made the shot?
Silence. Not even a sigh. You've gotten all you will out of this poor being.
I'm gonna let you rest now.
The plastic cape flaps around his face in a gust of wind. His back is slouched and his mouth open. The blacks of his eyes are receding. His pupils are returning to normal.
Hang tight.
We should think about getting back to the mainland to get help. He'll be safe here if we don't take too long.
We won't. Okay. I don't think Harry needs to sleep. I think he's okay, and we can't sleep anymore.
The skiff is swaying on the waves by the dock.
We gotta help the guy. Let's return.
Let's. We are done here.
The skiff rocks gently under your weight as you get in. The ride back is uneventful and quiet. But for the sound of conversation on the water, there is someone inland waiting for you. You reach the jetty and climb out of the skiff.
Who is inland waiting for me? I don't even see Lillian. Oh, is it the people from my station?
Look what the tide brought in.
Says the man without sunglasses. Suddenly his expression changes, and he tilts his head.
Harry, you're bleeding all over the place. You're half dead.
Whatever this is, it is completely unimportant compared to what you've just seen.
Oh, Harry, they actually do care about you, Harry.
This is the man with sunglasses from the whirling in rags. But where are his sunglasses?
Wait, you're the man with the sunglasses.
That's right. And you're bleeding.
Forget about all this. There's a giant.
We're not forgetting about anything. Look at you.
No one else seems bothered by the bleeding.
Bothered by it. Harry, you look like you need a fucking organ transplant. Oh, fuck it. Let's not get into that.
Who are you people?
Hello, I'm Trent Heilerstam. I believe we've met on several occasions.
Oh, you're the guy with the kid. Are you like an agent who's watching out?
I'm your goddamn partner, Jean Vicomar, and this is your special task force. Or what's left of it. Special Consultant Trent Heilerstam, Battle Officer Judith Minot.
He's a special consultant. You know, I was just thinking about this the other day and just like, who are the only happy people in Rivishall? And that Trent guy, he's always smiling. You know, I guess the Sunday friend seems kind of happy, but it's just... He was preternaturally happy, Trent.
Hi.
Judith.
We've come to scrape what's left of you off the pavement.
Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi, Prison 57. We've just come from the island, where our investigation led us.
The scene is making even him feel as though he has to justify your actions.
We might need your help with something later.
He adds, suddenly regaining his confidence.
As if he recalled that he's in fact a decorated police lieutenant and not a naughty boy.
Yeah, not naughty.
This is clearly a departmental matter, so I'm going to leave you to discuss it among yourselves.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
It's good to meet you, Lieutenant Kitsuhagi.
She says warmly, flashing the lieutenant the tiniest of smiles.
Letting the lieutenant know he shouldn't feel embarrassed over the shitstorm that's about to befall you.
What's this all about?
Harry, we want to help you. Trent, I believe this is where you come in?
I don't quite know what I'm doing here. I was asked to participate as an expert. I think I need to manage your expectations a little. I'm at best an enthusiast in cognitive science. My background is in something else entirely. I engage in neurology on a merely theoretical level. In fact, I should probably get going.
No, Trent, it's too late. You're part of this shit now. What have you got to say for yourself, shit kid?
What does he have to say for himself? He left you to catch the bullets.
Man, I thought they were here because they care about me. They're not.
Shit, kid. What an interest in Monica.
What's a shit kid?
You. Shit kid, that's you.
Despite all that you've done, the deserter, the phasmid, the case.
Despite all that I've done?
No, because of all that you've done.
How'd you know I was here?
The cafeteria manager you fucked over told us where you went.
I saved his establishment and he still betrays me? That's not really a betrayal. I understand.
And people on the street helped us too, with your whereabouts.
You're a legend among the drunks, Harry. A legendary local drunk.
You aren't the man with the sunglasses at all. You're not even blonde.
Guilty as charged. I heard you'd lost your mind and your memory. I wanted to see if it was true. And it was. Good work, Harry. You're insane now. There's one less person for me and everyone else to rely on.
He was too sarcastic for you to realize who he was.
Maybe if you hadn't been so sarcastic. Actually, I suspected something was off.
Did you? Or did you literally not recognize my face? We've been partners for how long, Harry? Don't answer that. You don't remember.
So, Trant turns out to be special consultant.
Yes, I'm Trant Heilerstam. I never said I wasn't Trant Heilerstam.
What's up with the kid then?
Mikhail? Mikhail's my son.
Oh, what was that? The interesting history? Spying on me?
No, I was just interested in the Feld building and the Martinez beachhead. And Mikhail wanted to see Martinez. It was a coincidence.
So what are you special consulting?
What indeed? I was asked to share my take on some of the more obscure theories developed in Königstein in the 30s. Like partial psychotraumatic amnesia, group personality theory.
He's here to see if you're insane. He is smart. Let's move on.
You never told me you're not the horse-faced woman.
Lieutenant, my name is not horse-faced woman. It's Judith Minot. I was assigned to your unit 2 months ago. I thought we were friends.
We're still friends. I just have a stupid head.
Okay. Because you're my commanding officer, I really want to respect you. I want us to have a normal relationship.
That will never happen, Jude. He's the rudest man on earth. He's the reason why the rest of us have to take sensitivity training. And I hate sensitivity training.
Duped again. No one's who they say they are.
Duped? Hey, here's a brilliant idea. Don't be a morbid drunk and you won't be duped so easily.
Gardener, scab leader, this... Tell me, at least you are who you said you were, Kim.
Yes, I'm still Kim Kisolagi, still a lieutenant from Precinct 57.
You mentioned the task force?
Yeah, Major Crimes Unit, under Lieutenant Dubois and Vicomar. Ring any bells?
Refresh my memory. Who else is in this?
Refresh your memory? It's a goddamn Major Crimes Unit. There's you, me, Jude, Trant fucking Heidelstein, and Guillaume Baby.
He stares at you.
I'm technically just a civilian advisor.
Oh, fuck you. You're part of this shit show.
Yeah, who's Guillaume Bevy?
Oh, that's an interesting story, actually. Guillaume Bevy is a police reporter who joined our team. He was really good. Then he left because he lost faith in your ability to lead the unit. Other people have left too. Good, smart people. People we won't get back. Only me and this really patient patrol officer are still here. And Tron because I'm forcing him to stay.
Is this Guillaume Bevy blonde and partial to sunglasses?
Is Guillaume Bevy blonde with sunglasses like you were?
See? There. He's getting it. I was impersonating him. Look at me, I'm G. Bevy. It was going to be funny, but then you really did have brain damage. So not so much anymore.
He sincerely thought it was going to be amusing. For both of you.
Okay, so what does this unit do?
It's a major crimes unit. We clear the desk of cases so Precinct 41 doesn't look like the worst station in town. We are shit tier now, Harry. Because of you.
The 41st isn't...
He trails off, not wishing to finish his sentence. Where have you been all this time? There was a mercenary tribunal.
God damn it, Harry.
He shifts his weight, crosses his arms, and looks you in the eye.
You told us to fuck off. You said we're cramping your style. Your detective god. Fuck everything. All will burn. Detect or die.
Wait, so you let me face a squad of trained killers alone just to teach me a lesson?
It wasn't like that.
Fuck you, Harry. We didn't know there was gonna be a tribunal, did we?
Why didn't you detect or die then?
Oh, you think it was cool you saying that? Aesthetic somehow? You were crying when we got here. Breaking things. You said we were going into the abyss. None of us wanted to see the abyss. So we fucked off. Like you told us to.
None of this is ringing any bells.
The bells aren't ringing because you have brain damage. Trant, this is where you come in. How bad is it?
Well, he doesn't have visible tremors, he talks without slurring, he can drive a boat, he's standing, reasoning. All good signs, but complete retrograde amnesia, episodic and semantic.
Meaning, you forgot both who you are and the definitions of money, Isola, Pell, and so on.
I did do that.
As displayed in the station call, our interactions with him, and I don't want to be a snitch, but also mine with him before when Harry did not seem to know who I was. It's all very interesting.
Interesting?
Yes, interesting. I have my theories, but I would like to hear Harry's thoughts first. Harry, what do you think happened to you? Neurologically, psychologically, and why not socioeconomically?
I mean, wait, socioeconomically, you think I'm so poor I lost my memory?
Not when you phrase it like that, but I don't think critical theory. I know everyone thinks this is far-fetched pink academia, but still, I don't think it should be off the table here.
What? He lost his memory because of capitalism?
No, not like that. I'm not talking for Hedefort's school here. But Harry, I asked you, what do you think happened?
Honestly, it's the drinking, but it's this. Something so sad happened to me that I couldn't be me anymore. It was a defense mechanism.
Psychotraumatic amnesia, Trant? I can go for that. Shit kid is a broken man. Always has been. Who isn't? I know I am. But you know what? I keep my shit together. Also, I know a person can't wipe their own mind, however traumatic it gets. That doesn't happen. You're lying, or insane, or both.
But Detective Vigmer, he has blanked out before.
I have?
Yes, a couple of times. After some of the more serious benders. One was after the two drunks case, the other when we looked into that mural.
So you don't remember not remembering. Beautiful.
Wow.
The two cases in your ledger. The unsolvable case and the Next World mural. Those were recent. Those cases were hard on you.
Interesting. So at first he dipped his toes into it, prepared. That's where he would have gotten the idea, yes. Practice. And then he used alcohol to get there, so to speak.
What do you mean?
Well, here's my theory. What if this is an absolutely normal reaction to the world we're living in? What if this is not a significant anomaly at all? Something to be explained, approached as a defect. Look at the sensory input here.
He gestures toward the scenery.
Look at the ruins, the neon. Listen to the radio, the multitudes, the people. Live here for 40 years. As a police detective, he's like a magnetic reader on the world tape, to borrow a known metaphor. Harry's been pushed flat against it. Total input. Hardwired to the free market. He just needed for it to end.
Okay, Trent, thank you. That's absolutely meaningless. I'm glad we brought you. Will he or will he not be able to work in the major crimes unit? Is he a cretin now? I want to know that.
He's not a cretin, and he is able to do work. If not in his previous leadership role, then as a line detective.
I'm ready to lead again. I feel good.
No one even mentioned that. I misphrased my question. It should have been, is he able to put his clothes on and use the potty? Or do we need to get him on a disability pension?
I used the potty. What now?
Now nothing. Now we're just going to stand here.
Really?
No. Now we discuss that. What the fuck did you do to a motor carriage? Why is it there, Harry?
Tequila Sunset. I also jumped the canal, by the way.
Ha ha ha. Ho ho ho. Tequila Sunset. Jump the canal. So funny, Harry. Thank you for fucking me. Thank you for destroying 45,000 real of police property that's coming out of my payslip. You know that, right? You're gonna get fired, and I'm gonna pay till I die. It doesn't matter. Your badge, Harry. Show me your badge.
Wait, my badge?
The thing that tells people you're a police officer.
I got it right here.
In a rush to demonstrate your badge, your eager fingers can't sustain a grip on the smooth plastic, and the badge slips out of your hand.
I'll try to catch it. I expect I will not. Oh, I got it. Got it.
Not today, badge.
The drama is unnecessary. I got the badge. All is well.
And your gun?
He asked, unimpressed by the police piece of plastic in your
As if
hand.
having your badge and gun are natural states, not achievements. What is it with all these material objects?
My gun is right here.
He has it. And he didn't drop it. You're drunk like a bum, Harry. Put that thing away before you kill someone.
I'm not a drunk. I haven't started drinking again.
So you forgot to drink? I don't buy it. Why do you smell like a corpse then?
Because I'm dying.
He's wounded. It's been a long week, and he's handled an actual corpse.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a week. I'm sorry I smell bad. I do say I'm sorry a lot. That's hilarious. Hold on. I just haven't washed myself after the autopsy. Yeah, I've handled an actual corpse.
I don't believe you. You're drunk. You let a suspect escape, a certain classier, because you were too drunk to assess a flight risk.
We've read the report, Sari. Lieutenant Kitsuhagi's. We know.
Classier, she was some sort of spy from the Occident, specially trained.
Oh, well, if she was specially trained. I'm not even gonna get into the other suspect who also escaped. Yeah, Ruby's something. Or the fact that you very likely sold your gun for booze. That's peanuts. That's nothing. That's a humorous anecdote. Compared to the 8 people who were gunned down. The streets are literally red with blood, Harry. It was fucking mass murder.
He did everything he could. We did everything we could. The company hired unvetted mercenaries. Lieutenant Dubois got between them and the locals. He did so at considerable risk to his own life. He was shot, not once, but twice. We stopped an execution, not a negotiation. The loss of life was minimal compared to what it could have been.
Yeah, it was a massacre. I also solved the case. It's solved. All of it.
Detective, it's better if I do that.
Oh, okay.
It's so much better if he does this 1,000,000 times.
Okay.
Thank you for the input, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. I didn't mean to suggest you didn't handle the situation.
He brushes a stray strand of hair out of his eye.
You've spent the week with him on this case. What is your take?
On the case?
On Lieutenant Geoffrey Dubois.
Well, the drinking, the gun losing, also losing the badge. That's all true. Although he has not been drinking on the job this week.
See?
See.
1 week.
Then there's the self-flagellation issue. He likes to apologize profusely, making it sound like he's guilty of at least first-degree murder.
I'd do that.
It's not a good communication strategy for an officer. It's worrying, especially considering his political views. Detective Dubois is, as you may know, a Mazovian socio-economist. He wants to liquidate the ruling class, which, again, for a police officer, is a little odd.
Just a little.
You should yell something.
It's not a good idea.
Yes, let's let the big boys talk.
Big boys.
Other still, he is also an ultra-liberal hustler who is always on the grind. How he reconciles these 2 points of view, I do not know. But he is vocal about both of them.
That's true.
And then there's the motor carriage in the sea, something I was not present for. But despite all this, he is a great detective, one of the best I have seen, in fact. He can talk human beings into telling him everything, and he doesn't stop. In all the time I've spent with him, he has not once stopped pursuing leads, however far-fetched and tangential. He is tireless, madly driven. And he solved it, near perfectly. In 1 week we have a confession, a murder weapon, and the perpetrator. Locked on the island right now, awaiting transportation. He apprehended a revolutionary brigade who stayed hidden for 50 years, ever since the revolution, who's probably committed other murders over those years. Oh, and he also discovered a new species.
A new species?
A colossal stick insect. It was on the island, camouflaged as the reeds. It unfolded from the reeds. I think we may be dealing with the Insulindian phasmid.
You got that right.
He takes out the photo of the phasmid and shows it to the officers across the yard. The wind blows, flapping the glossy rectangle in his
Oh no,
hand.
don't lose it.
You hear gasps beneath the howling of the wind.
As you can see, it's about 3 meters tall. In fact, we think it may be the largest land invertebrate ever discovered.
Hosiana, boom shakalaka. So as you can see, I'm a pretty okay detective. And an absolutely giant communist say nothing.
Fucking hell is that? Is this somehow connected to the case?
The killer did not seem to be aware of the phasmid's presence, exhibiting a strange, atypical dementia. He fell into a stupor after its appearance. He became near catatonic.
The phasmid may have contributed to his mental state in some way over the years.
So it is connected. ...
I must say, this is absolutely extraordinary. I don't even have words for it.
I love how this is the most impressive thing.
Yes. It really does make it hard to fire the drunk.
His tired eyes follow the photo as the lieutenant puts it away.
This is a very, very sad man who has just seen something that's made him forget his sadness.
Yes, that's what the phasmid was.
Now you make your case. Now is the time. Now or never.
Man, I have so many cool things to say. I also started a nightclub in the church.
What was that? It sounded like you set up a nightclub in the church.
I also discovered a hitherto unexplored entropanetical phenomenon, a 2mm hole in the world.
That's great. Anthroponaut is a great new career for you. After police officer. I don't care. Go live in the Pale.
4 kids were living in a tent on the ice. They were going to drown when it melted. It's not optimal, but the building was abandoned, so he put them in there. It's okay.
It's not that okay. Get off this subject now.
The phasmid was female. The reeds are its nest.
Female? What makes you think so?
You had to see it. It had the subdued colors of a female. And the nesting behavior too, I think.
Incredible. Were there eggs in the nest?
Not as far as I could see. There were other things there, though.
It had gathered items in its nest, a helmet and a scope.
Actually, you know, this would indicate it was a male. This is far from anything in my field, but I think such nests are called bowers. They are for attracting mates.
I think it's female.
Of course, as I said, I'm only guessing. I didn't see it. It must be robust if it can move a whole helmet with its limbs.
I think it reproduces by parthenogenesis.
As in cloning itself? What makes you think so?
It told me it's probably not the right thing to say here, just a hunch.
Well, then it wouldn't matter if it's a male or female. The bower would just be rudimentary behavior from before the parthenogenetic mutation.
That makes sense. Yes.
It does.
Very interesting. Such organisms are extremely vulnerable to disease. A single strain of bacteria could wipe out the whole species. We're probably looking at conservation efforts here.
It had mandibles that looked like hair, and it was completely white on the inside.
Yes, but also reed-colored, beige and brown, a little green on the outside. After unfolding from a single stalk, it still retained parts that looked like reed tufts on its limbs.
Incredible. The PR value of this is exceptional. Carp discovers new species. Maybe even discovers the Insulindian phasmid. No, that's too much.
This would really help with some of the problems we've been having.
Absolutely, this is great. This does not say vigilante murderers to me at all. This says science, news, human interest. You know, it's a really good thing you have that photo.
Goodness gracious, please don't lose it.
Without it,
He shakes his
You're
head.
doing good here. Perhaps only for a moment, but still. Quit while you're ahead? Or no?
The killer, we have a strong motive for him.
Lilyanovich. A revolutionary matronym.
A revolutionary matronym?
The custom started in Grad, where they have patronyms. Krasovich, Lasovich, etc. The revolutionaries saw this as a chauvinist atavism, so they used matronyms, derived from the mother's name instead. This man's mother was Lillian. His Lillian's son, Lilyanovich. The custom was overturned after the revolution failed, but not before it made it to Revachol.
So, it is what a soldier of the ICM would be called.
thank you, Trant. Thank you for that piece of cultural theory. You said you have a motive?
Of course, excuse me, I just thought it was noteworthy.
He wasn't quite sure about the straggler before he heard this detail. It must have convinced him.
So, it's an act of jealousy.
Jealousy? I thought this Lilyanovich was an old man. To have been hiding for 50 years. Like 70-something.
A strange psychosexual fascination. The result of spending all this time in solitude on the islands of this bay. And trauma too. He himself gave a political reason. In his mind, he had killed an enemy combatant. Also, we have a sniper's nest with full view of the room in which the mercenary died, right on the island, and 2 officers on the scene that Mr. Dross confessed to.
It's a clean win.
Oh, it's way more than that.
I did all I could. Every second was a struggle.
I've never doubted you can pull yourself together and work. In bouts. Bouts don't last. I can still smell the booze on the wind.
God damn it. Doesn't it ever leave? It is there. Like in your bones or something. It will pass in time.
The previous head of the Dividers Union was assassinated by our killer.
This is a conversation for when we are no longer out in the open. In Martinez, where Evrard and Edgar Clare have ears everywhere.
Okay, good idea.
Understood, of course.
I would prefer not to partake in anything union-related, for political neutrality.
This has to be good stuff for him to backpedal out of it at first mention.
I also fixed the strike.
How? It seems to be ongoing. I see red banners on the gates.
He didn't quite solve it. He cross-pollinated information between the company rep and Everhart, until the rep came to see that the Union desires war, at which point Mrs. Messier decided to...
What? Hand clear the terminal?
I masterminded a solution to an unsolvable problem. I just told some people some things. No big deal. Things are calmer now.
Sounds like you got played, Harry. Because you were off your tits on Al Ghul.
How did you know about Al Ghul?
It doesn't matter how I know about Al Ghul. What matters is, you're Everclear's messenger now. A union man, as he calls it. He's a mob boss, did you know? Is that why you want us to investigate the assassination of the previous union head thing? To get off Everett's hook?
No, it's nothing like that. He was reckless with information, but ethical. We don't owe anyone anything. This allowed us to stabilize things in Martinez.
God, calm down, Jean.
There was a dead man on the boardwalk, a missing person I found.
Yes. Fallen through a gap in a boardwalk. Drunk.
How'd you know I found
The
him?
body was transported to Precinct 41, our morgue. I had Tilbrook and Mullins take care of funeral arrangements and family stuff.
You're not the only cop in the world, Harry. This all comes back to us.
Still, good work with the missing person, detective.
Thanks.
It's still a point for you. No denying it.
I also looked into the mystery of the doomed commercial area.
I don't know what a doomed commercial area is.
This. All the businesses go bankrupt.
Why? That's not what you were supposed to do here.
There was a possible witness in there, and it was close to the crime scene. He was just chasing a lead and ended up advising a local shopkeeper. It was okay.
Of course. Call it community outreach, right?
So what do you say? You want to take this back?
I don't want to, but you discovered a new species and solved the murder. So I have to. Jude?
Anything that ends the trial is okay with me.
A quick nod.
Agreed. The public relations potential of this is too valuable to let go.
Okay. We have vehicles in the square, and the perpetrator needs to be taken into custody. Let's go.
Wait, I have a few questions before we go, about who I
The
am.
man looks westward, impatiently, jingling his car keys in his pocket.
Who am I?
Who are you? You're a gym teacher, Harry.
What?
Well, obviously you're not a gym teacher anymore, but...
But before...
Before you were a cop, you were a gym teacher in Coron. It's getting really cold outside. Should we maybe...
That explains a lot.
Harry, it explains everything. The running around, the jumping, the bicep girth, your inexplicable facial hair.
The collection of sportswear.
The fact that you don't seem to know what homosexuality is.
Also, this guy. Just everything about this guy.
Oh god, contact Mike.
Of course. Contact Mike.
He's been on about Mike again. I hate that guy.
Contact Mike is a reprise of the most inspiring basic sporting principle of open competition. A 5001 rank outsider.
Oh, you don't say. Does he also vault an impassable gulf of finance and privilege?
It is getting cold out.
Aww. When was this? When was I a gym teacher?
In your 20s or late 20s. You've really let yourself go since then.
You said in Quran I was a gym teacher there?
Yes, you taught gym in Cool. I believe that's the term. Taught gym at a high school. You were a high school gym teacher.
The smell of sweat and glue. The worn floorboards. Coudon is just east of Jamrock. It was a short walk every morning to the baseball field or the sports building.
High school. Harry, your goings-on with Kuno, Andre, Assel, the whole thing on the ice. That's why you are so juvie.
His smirk suggests barely contained laughter.
Why did I join the RCM?
The regular. You found some chick. She inspired you to fight the big fight. Be more than you are. All that.
You, every morning, walking from Voyager Road to teach gym. She, leaving for the academy with her spring coat on. The air filled with the smell of smoke and raspberries, and incredible hope. An ocean full of hope.
Okay.
I knew it. I knew no normal human being can run like that. He's an honest-to-God gym teacher.
And why am I like this?
It's not a mystery. Some chick fucked you over. Also, you were drunk.
You really went with it too. Really maximized the damage.
Some chick who?
Dora something. Dora England. Yeah, you mentioned the name.
Not Dora Dubois.
Wait, Dora Ingerlude?
Something like that. Half Vazan.
Vasa is where beautifully and impossibly blonde people come from.
So we weren't even married.
No one is married anymore. This is Revachol.
When was this?
God, I don't know. 6 years ago? She was way before my time.
Oh my.
6 years and you haven't gotten over it. What the hell is wrong with you?
6 years?
Or 7? You're not doing too good there. It's an old man thing. 2 old years equals 1 normal year. That and Dora Engelund really tore you a new one. A big one.
Who was she?
Incredibly bangable.
Are you seriously using this moment to assert male privilege?
He is very passionate about this.
Okay, you're right. She was extremely fuckable, Harry. Gorgeous. A gorgeous bourgeois woman. Way fish. Like a Welkin, basically.
Snow Welkin. Blonde Welkin. Pain Welkin.
I've only seen a picture, but it's obvious you formed a real spiritual connection with how pretty she was. One you never recuperated from.
Look, the sun is about to go down. It's time to go home.
I think she taught in the Académie des Arts, east of the river. Way east. Hard to say which came first, the middle-class chick or the drink. Egg and the chicken kind of thing. My point is, you need to see a psychiatrist about this shit. Not a psychologist. Several degrees harder. Is there something harder than a psychiatrist? A forensic psychiatrist? Go talk to that.
In other words, he's heard enough about this.
Okay, am I a dirty cop working for La Puta Madre?
No.
A suspect seemed to think.
You're too unstable to work for a mob boss. You're suicidal, Harry. No mob boss would take you.
Good.
I assure you, I wouldn't consult for a corrupt unit.
He would immediately backpedal out of it.
Yes, he would.
I told you it's not that bad.
What Precinct 41? What kind of station is it?
With the bloody murder station, haven't you heard? With the bad guys. No one likes us.
That's not true. Jamrock is too big for one precinct. You're just understaffed, and everyone respects the 41st. You have Captain Price.
Thank you, Lieutenant. You're being kind. It is an understaffed station and the district is too big, which is why we need to...
He tilts his head.
Get back to it. We left Torson and McLean to run the Sea Wing. It's not good.
Did we recently shoot up a church by any chance?
So he remembers that. Yes, there may have been a raid on some churches. It wasn't good press.
Shooting up churches never is. I was out of town, to be clear.
What happened? Why'd we go there?
Our enemies were hiding in a church, to the best of our information. That's it. I'm not talking about this anymore. Your security clearance is shit tier right now. You have to wait for it to go up.
He means it. The RCM and its enemies will not be discussed on this coast. Your clearance will not go up while you're within earshot of the Union headquarters.
Torson and McLean?
Mac the Torso Torson and Chester McLean. They're not fit to run a wing. Believe me. Things are shaky as it is.
They are damn iconic though, Torson and McLean.
An iconic duo, I take it?
Yeah, not like us. Two clinically depressed old men. Where's the contrast here? We are garbage.
And the Sea Wing is...
God. There are 4 wings, Harry. A, B, C, and D. We're in C. It's made of losers and clock punchers. You and I reconceptualized it as a task force. It was a mistake.
There's also a lot of outside help involved, not only me. Other losers too.
He's anything but a loser, although he would like to be seen as one. It's cooler that way.
And Price is...
Ptolemy Price? He's the son of the Old Price, one of the founders of the RCM.
He's one of the most highly regarded men in the force. You're lucky.
Somewhere under the curved roof of a former silk factory, shaped like a ladybird with 2 chimneys, Police Captain Ptolemy Price sits behind a heavy wooden desk. Resident medic Nix Gottlieb pours him coffee. It's silent in the captain's office. They speak of change, the city, the tension on the streets. They speak of the events of April and the blood on the streets in May.
So I work in the bloody murder station.
Okay, it's not the bloody murder station. It's an old converted silk mill with green desk lamps and a coffee corner. A lot of good people work there, hard, every day.
Jamrock is the largest ghetto in Rivershaw. Faubourg, technically, but it's divided into 11 districts. Jamrock only has us.
The press will blow over. Jamrock is lucky to have you, and it's often considered to be the greatest of the districts. You're lucky to have it.
Thank you again, Lieutenant.
The phasmid. I need to tell Lena about this ASAP.
Who is Lena?
She lives at 1113 Tabernacle Road in Jamrock. Remember?
Good. A cryptozoologist. She lives in Jamrock on Tabernacle Road. She told me about the phasmid.
Tabernacle? It's on the way over. Near where you live on Perdition.
She looks at the guy.
If we're gonna drop you off anyway.
She and her husband were conducting the search for the phasmid. It's their discovery, in part. They should know as soon as possible. It would do you good to deliver some positive news for a change.
She is going to be over the moon.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi, what will you do now?
Well, first I will go back to my station and write the most detailed report anyone has ever seen. It will have to be good to cover all these. Then I will have a serious talk with my captain.
About what?
Detective, we just stopped a small-scale war. Something is happening to Revachol.
He pulls up his collar and looks around, the cold spring light reflected in the lenses of his glasses.
I don't know what yet, but it's going to be a hard spring for the RCM. We need to get ready, infiltrate, investigate.
You want to do that at Station 41?
Talk to Captain Price? I'd rather not ruffle the feathers of 2 captains with my doom-mongering.
No, I mean investigate. Why don't you come to Precinct 41?
Work with Price? I'm flattered, but I don't know if I...
This truly came as a surprise to him. Not a bad one, but he's at a loss.
Flattered? You're Lieutenant Kitsuragi. We would be flattered if you even considered.
I would have to tie things up in GRIH first. But, I mean, whatever is coming, Jamrock will be more central to it than the harbor.
The lieutenant turns very serious all of a sudden.
And we also have a huge caseload, Lieutenant. Piles that we need to get back to. Mountains, even.
I do like the sound of that.
We got him. He's gonna come be on our team, in our task force.
He's really considering it.
That's awesome. I'm ready.
Good.
She looks at you, then, your partner.
Fuck it, let's go. Tron brought his motor carriage. It's a 20-minute drive to Jamrock.
Under the afternoon sky, the great district hums. A chessboard of wooden houses, 80,000 living souls, and chimney stacks. Fire traps as far as the eye can see. From Main Street to Precinct 41, to Boogie Street, forking into the snow-swept horizon. You close your eyes and hear the dogs bark. A lone woman sits by a factory window, dreaming of meteorite strikes. On Rue de Saint-Jérôme, a square bullet slides into a square-shaped chamber. In Old South, a man without eyelids smiles. Spring has come. It's time. Torsen? Yes. McLean? Yes. Heidelstein? No. Vicmere? Yes. Dubois? Yes. Really? Nix Gottlieb looks up from the list. I hear he's unstable. You say that like it's a bad thing. Captain Ptolemy Price gestures with a ballpoint pen. It's dim in his office, and the curtains are drawn. Harry's our man. He'll pull through. When he does, he'll side with the people. Understood. Gottlieb returns to the list. Minnow? Of course.
Wonderful. Then can we please just go back to Jamrock now?
Wow, he's helping me? Unbelievable. I cannot believe I finally beat this game. I feel pretty good about the ending that we got. Obviously, it's not perfect. I know I could have done a better job at that shootout, and, you know, Glenn, Titus, Angus, all of those people didn't have to die. But that's what we got. We saw the phasmid. We solved so many of the crimes. We started a dance club, and we recruited Lieutenant Kitsuragi to be part of Precinct 41. I love it. This game just has been such a joy to play. I got back into it and plowed through to the end because I couldn't wait to see what would happen. I mean, some of the things were so surprising, so amazing. This is in my top 5 games of all time. It might even be my top game of all time. It's hard because I've just played it, so it's all like recent, but it is the best writing, the best voice acting, a fantastic story, and simply one of the best games ever. It's just incredible. I know PC Gamer has it as number 1 on its top games of all time. It is a masterpiece. Wow. Everyone, I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. One day I'll probably play it again, try a different build, see what I can do, look into the thoughts more, and see what I can shape as my character. But for a first-time playthrough, I think we did a pretty good job of exhausting most of the options and having a nice little turnaround for Harry there. I love how, at the end, they tied everything back together. They kept track of everything that you did, and I didn't drink with Harry, and they knew it. And, all of the choices that we made, all of the things worked out. We got a confession. We solved the crime. We let Ruby and Classier go, but they didn't do it. They did other things, but not that, and I'm okay with it. Everyone, I'd love to know what you guys think of this game, what you all think of this game. Please tell me in the comments below, and remember, I have now the whole series, the complete playthrough, on the channel, and it's been a pleasure. Mallory, thank you again so much for donating this game to the channel way back when, and I'm glad to, play through this. Look at all these voice actors. Look at all of the fact that there's just different people. A lot of games use one person to do like 10 different actors, This is like, look at this list. It's incredible. Everyone, I want to say thank you so much for watching. Take care.